name's Ashbey Beasley, Ashbey Beasley. My son and I were at the parade on July 4th, 2022.
And your reaction to what happened in court this morning?
I think there is a huge collective feeling of relief. Our community wanted justice.
How about you personally? What was going through your mind when they said we have a change in plea?
Just an immense amount of relief. Just an immense amount of relief for everyone.
Had you been given any information by the prosecutors to say this might be coming?
I found out when everyone else found out.
Can you describe how you were impacted, if you're okay with sharing?
My son and I were at the parade and ran for our lives, and it has been a long process to healing. Even when you're not injured, just being at an event like this is life-changing.
Ashbey, is there some sense of relief that you don't have to go through the trial, you don't have to see all that evidence? It was going to be pretty hard to take.
Yes, I think just knowing that this we can all heal. Our path to healing is beginning.
Ashbey, this will be the first 4th of July since this happened that perhaps there is some sense of relief. Walk me through for the community what that might look like in just a few months.
I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I think every moment that we can move forward is a great relief, and thankful to be able to move forward and take our community back on July 4th, be able to celebrate July 4th, and I think we've been trying to do that.
Ashbey, can you describe what it was like after court recessed, just among those that came today from Highland Park?
Just a huge sense of relief. Relief and shock, but a lot of relief.
Ashbey, did the prosecution team say anything to you after court ended?
No.
And was there any skepticism that you had when he initially said that he was going to plead guilty after what went through last summer?
I think we were all just surprised and just, watching to see what would happen.
Did you kind of hold your breath a little bit with all the questioning the judge was doing?
I held my breath.
Knowing that 6 or 8 months ago, whatever it was, that everybody came to court expecting this plea, then he pulled the rug out. Put it in that context of how unpredictable everything has been. I mean, it's got to be a huge shock.
It was a shock to hear the words that he was changing his plea. It was.
Ashbey, talk to us about what it's like, for yourself, but you've been here this whole time, about what it would have been like to have to go through these 3 to 5 weeks of testimony, hearing the details of this incident.
I think it's an important part of the process, and my hope coming into this was the jury would listen to all of the evidence and find him guilty of this horrible tragedy which he committed, and I'm just relieved that none of us have to go through that.
But you were just here last week. He was in court. There were ample opportunities for things to stop before today. What do you make of the fact that it took up until this moment for this to happen?
I'm not in his head. I have no idea. I have no idea what led to this. Just relieved that it's happened.
Is
And
there
just
a
the
thought?
impact that it had to be in that scene, to see him for the first time in the courtroom after all these years. What was that like for you? The impact it left on you?
I think every single time I see him, it's stressful. I think it's upsetting for everyone in our community, and I think just knowing that this plea has been entered and we will not have to see him again is what we all need to move on.
Ashbey, well, the trial, there's no trial now, but I know you've been super involved. You've gone to Springfield to advocate for the removal of guns, things like that. How do you move forward now? I mean, does this mean that you are done? How do you move forward?
I think it's really important to remember that there were thousands and thousands of people at this parade who ran for their lives, whose children are forever changed, who cannot go on with their daily life, who have spent years in therapy and tried to heal, and that we are not the first community to go through this, and we will not be the last community to go through this. And so while this will fade, not for us, but in the public, it's really important to know that any of us could be any of you, and any family can experience this. And it's on our lawmakers to make changes so that this doesn't happen again to another community. And it's a time for us to hold anyone who commits a mass casualty event to be considered terrorism. and at a federal level have those ability to make that an automatic charge, because thousands and thousands of people were impacted, thousands and thousands of families, and until we start listening and hearing and recognizing that your life can be changed in a moment because we are not passing common sense gun legislation and not giving our prosecutors the right tools to prevent this from happening again, it will keep happening. So I'll keep fighting for that. Keep fighting for that.
What if you told your son when you that day, you prepared him for this, for the testimony that's going to be, and how are you communicating with him about what we're anticipating to happen?
I don't talk to him about this. This has been really hard for him, so I haven't told him really anything about it.
Will you tell him something now?
I will tell him now. I will tell him that it's over, and I think he will be very relieved to hear that.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.